Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and today we are going to be doing my mid-month wrap-up. It is the 16th of December when I'm filming this and I have read 27 books so far. So I have said a lot. I said it in my December TBR and I said it in my November wrap-up that I really want to hit my Goodreads goal this year, and I was very far behind. I'm actually only like 5 books behind now. I have gotten so close. If I continue going at the pace that I've been going, I will definitely hit my goal. We're gonna cross our fingers. But because of that, I've read 27 books so far in December. I will say a lot of them are novellas, but I have limited filming time right now, so we are going to get right into the books and I'm going to tell you what I've read so far this month. So the first 3 books that I read were the other books in Jessica Cain's Plus Size Hero series. So that was Bulky, Husky, and Burly. Bulky is an age gap one where it's a best friend's dad. Husky is the heroine is a fashion designer and she uses the hero as her male model. And Burly is a dad's best friend one. And unfortunately, I didn't love any of them. I loved Hefty. Hefty was the first one, and that was the best one, and I read it in the end of November. But these 3 were the rest of the ones in the series, and I just didn't love them as much as Hefty. I think Husky, of the 3 of them, Husky is probably my favorite, but they were all pretty much like 3.5 stars. You know, they were not amazing. Then I read Santa Baby by Cassie Mint. This was a holiday novella, and it's an age gap one. He owns the bar and she works at the bar, and he very much has like a protective vibe over her. But he thinks he's too old for her. She thinks she's too young for him. You know, that like very traditional age gap situation. And it was cute. There was parts of it that I enjoyed, but it wasn't like... It didn't blow me away. I wasn't excited. I was just like, oh, this is short and easy to read. You know, I was reading them very quickly and it just like didn't fully stand out to me. I definitely liked it better than some of the Jessica Cain ones that I read. So it's probably 3.5 instead of 3, but it was fine. Then I read One Forbidden Night by Nicola Davidson. This is a historical romance novella and it was on audio, and honestly if it had been longer I would have DNF'd it. It was so boring. I just like really didn't care. I was just like a little bit confused at times and I was just like, this is boring and I'm just not into it. I gave it 3 stars. It was just whatever, you know, it was just like not exciting or not interesting enough to like hold my attention. But then after that, I read Smash and Grab by Maz Maddox, and I loved this book. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was so good. I actually recently talked about it in a video that I'll link down below if you haven't seen it, where I talked about books that I'm like obsessed with, and this book was in that video. It's a dinosaur shifter romance. It's it's adventure. It's hilarious. I had a great time with it, and I would highly recommend it. So fun. If you're looking for like a shorter read, they're very short. They're like 200-ish, 250 pages at max, and they were so fun and good. I read the whole series that's out so far, which is Smash and Grab is the first one, then Sink or Swim, which I also really liked. I gave 4 stars. King and Queen I loved. I gave 5 stars. And then Lost in Amber is my least favorite, but was still good. I still gave it like 4 stars. But oh my gosh, they were so fun, so easy to like marathon the way through all of them. I'm really excited for the next book in the series that's going to come out at some point. It's Montana's story, and I just thought that they were adorable and so fun and adventureful and just exactly what I wanted. They were just like easy and just like enjoyable reading experiences, you know, because like with the couple of novellas that I read first, I was like, these are whatever, but these ones I was actually excited to read and actually enjoying myself, and they were perfect for me. Then I read another Jessica Cain novella called Caught with the Convicts, and this one was just a short, very smutty novella where this girl goes to a prison to visit her father who's in jail, who she hates, who she just has been afraid of for like her whole life, and so she needs to see him like behind bars to know that he's actually locked up and that she doesn't have a reason to be afraid anymore. But then there's like a riot that goes on in the prison while she's there, and the prisoners get out of their cells, and she gets trapped with these two convicts that are there who are like best friends and cellmates, and they have sex, and then those two convicts escape to find her. It was very smutty. Like, that was the plot. It was like smut was the plot. It was hot. It was fun. Like, it was okay for what it was, you know? Then I read The Christmas Blanket by Candy Steiner, and this one I loved. This was a second chance romance. It was so cute. It had a snowed in moment. They were a divorced couple, and I loved it. I actually gave it 5 stars. It was so cute and sweet and just like heartfelt, and it was like the kind of Christmas romance that I love. It was just like just long enough that it was like you got a plot, but it wasn't like overly long, because I don't love Christmas books, you know? I don't want like a whole book about Christmas. I don't really care about Christmas that much. I just wanted like this perfect, like 100 and something pages where it was plot, spice, romance, you know, emotional connection. I really liked it, and it was so cute and just gave you like the holiday vibes of just like winter, you know? I really like winter, and so it was like snowed in and there was a blizzard and they had to like cuddle under a blanket, and I was like, this is the vibes that I like in my holiday romance. Then I read V-Card for Christmas, which is part of the novella series that McKay from Oh Hey It's McKay found, that all have like wacky titles and are just like ridiculous. I think she said she's doing a vlog for all of them, and I'm really excited to watch that when it comes out. But this one was like one of the ones in that series, and it was just wacky. I mean, it was short, easy novella. It was smutty, you know, it was just like what I expected it to be based on the title of it. They're neighbors. She's a virgin. He's like, I must have you now, that kind of vibe. Then I read Boyfriends for Now by Imogen Markwell-Todd, I think is what the author's name is. This one is a short novella on audio that I found on Scribd. And I'm gonna be real honest with you, I read this book because the author's name started with I. That is why I read this. I have a A to Z challenge where I have A to Z of new to me authors, where I was looking for authors that started with each letter, you know, and I didn't have an author for I, and so I read this book because the author's name started with I. It was actually cute. I think it's like 3.5 stars, you know. It was adorable. It was just that like sweet, innocent vibe. This is a no spice book. It was just them fake dating to go home for Christmas. It was cute, you know, it was okay. Then I read The Mistletoe Vixen, which is another one that I read just because the author's name started with Y, I think. Their last name started with Y. And I just wanted like a really short novella, and that's just what this was. It was just short, smutty novella. Same thing with Filled by Bears, which was another one that I just read because of the author. This one was just even more just like short. This one I think was like literally 20 pages, and it was just she has sex with a werewolf, or a bear shifter. He's a bear shifter, not a wolf shifter, but it was wacky. Then I read My Life in Shambles by Karina Halley, which I'm not going to go too deep into because this was on my 5-star predictions for 2022, and I have a video coming out that is going to be like wrapping up my 5-star predictions of 2022 and letting you know what my new predictions are going to be for 2023. So this book will be talked about in that video. Then I read Crimes of Passion by Jack Harbin, I believe, and this is a Audible exclusive Audible original audio novella. It's an novella between two podcasters who both are true crime podcasters, and it was decently cute. I didn't love it. I wasn't blown away by it or anything. It was cute. It was fine. I give it 3.5 stars. You know, it was just easy listening, you know? And then I read Mistletoe Mobster by Cassie Mint. This is another Christmas novella. This one, the guy is in the mob and the heroine owns a bookstore, and the guy who's in the mob gets shot, and he's like, please can I come in because I'm bleeding, and she lets him in and lets him use her phone to call somebody, and then it's a romance between the two of them. This one I actually didn't mind. I think that I would give this one 4 stars. It was cute. It was easy. I liked the premise of this one. I liked the parts where she was getting like super protective or like careful of him when he was shot. I really loved that part of it. It wasn't my favorite Cassie Mint novella, but it wasn't my least favorite either. Then I read the remaking of Corbin Whale by Roan Parrish, and this one is such an interesting book. I will say this book is beautifully written. It's very, very interesting the way that the book is written. I just don't think that this was the right book for me because I was confused for a lot of it, because I was like, is this fantasy? Is this not fantasy? Is it like, what is happening? It's an MM story where this hero, one of the heroes, moves back to this small town that he's from, and there's this guy who lives there whose name is Corbin Whale, and he like talks to himself, and he's like, basically on the back of the book, it's like Corbin Whale is weird, like he's weird. And I couldn't tell for most of the book if it was a fantasy element or if he was like all in his head or like what was going on. And so I was a little distracted by that because I was trying to figure out if it was fantasy or if it was not fantasy. So the writing aspect was beautiful. The atmospheric type of vibe I really liked, but the actual plot was very slow. It was very character driven, and it was just like not my favorite. So I gave it 3.5 stars. If you like a character-driven, beautifully written, like less plot type book, I would recommend this because the writing was beautiful and the atmosphere and just like the like experience of it was very interesting. But I was confused plot-wise. I didn't love the relationship aspect of it. Like I would pick this up less as a romance and more as just like a atmospheric story, because I didn't really get like a whole bunch of like connection romantically between the two of them. I could see the friendship that was building, but I wasn't getting romantic vibes between them. Then I read Barbarian Lover by Ruby Dixon. This is book 3 in the Barbarian Alien series, whatever that series is called, Ice Planet Barbarian series. And this series, you know what you're getting when you read it. I enjoyed myself. It was what I wanted, which is why I picked it up. Ice Planet Barbarians. I mean, it was what I wanted. I think I gave it 4 stars. You know, it was fun. It was easy. It was a good romance. It was nice spice. I had a fun time with it. And I want to read more from this series. And I love having this series just like in my back pocket just for whenever I just need something with those kind of vibes. I just know that that's there, and I was looking for something, especially because they're so short and easy to read, that I was just like, I don't know what to pick up. You know what I'm feeling? Something paranormal. Let's do Ice Planet Barbarians. You know, it was perfect. Then I read Christmas on the 13th Floor by Lee Jacot. This one is a spicy holiday novella. It had great spice. It was Boss Assistant. That was the extent of it. I mean, like there wasn't a whole bunch to it other than the fact that it was Boss Assistant and it was spicy. That's why I read it. I knew what I was getting when I was going into it. Don't expect a whole bunch other than the fact that it's spicy and Boss Assistant, you know? And then I read Priest by Sierra Simone, which will also be in that 5-star predictions video, so I'm not going to give you too much of my thoughts on that one. But I finally read Priest after 1.5 years of it, me saying that I was going to read it. Then I read Thief in the Night by K.J. Charles. This is an Audible exclusive novella also that was available through Audible Plus. It's MM, it's historical, it was fun, it was cute, I liked it. One of the heroes is a thief. They like hook up in the beginning, and then one of the heroes like steals from the other. One of the heroes is like titled, and the other hero is a thief. He's from the streets, you know, he's not wealthy at all. But they kind of realize that they have things in common, that they have hard pasts, that they have a connection, and it was cute. I enjoyed it. Then I read Mountain Wish by Stella Banks. This is another holiday novella, and this one was friends to lovers. I don't love friends to lovers. It's not my favorite trope. Friends to lovers is so hard for me because I just don't, you've been friends for so long. Why now? Why after all this time do you just like magically have feelings for them? Or if you've been pining for a ridiculously long time, like, I don't care. I don't care. I just didn't care about this one. Then I read Quarterback Sneak by Candy Steiner. This one was a little bit disappointing for me. I really thought I was gonna love this, and it was not my favorite. So I don't know how to rate this because there were certain parts of it that I did absolutely love, and there were certain points of it that I was just like, are you kidding me right now? I really liked the hero. I really liked the hero. Candy Steiner can write a good hero, especially in this series. Like, I really, really liked this hero. I hated this heroine. I hated her. I did not care about her at all. I didn't care about her problems. She had like a tragic backstory, and I was just like, shut up. I don't care about you at all. And because of that, and because of my like dislike of her and my inability to connect with her, I found the relationship and the book hard to connect with, because I was like, you deserve so much better. Like, the hero deserved so much better. I was like, you are amazing and she sucks. Why do you want to be with her? So I'm thinking 4 stars because of how much I liked the hero, and I liked the like plot-ish of the story. Like, I liked the coach's daughter type thing, but I also didn't care about the fact that the coach, like, if my father talked to me like that or told me that who I could date and who I couldn't, I would be so mad, especially because she's a freaking adult. She doesn't live with him. Like, she's an adult. What are you doing? I was just like, that is stupid. And anything like that, like a brother's best friend or a like something like that where you're like, you are not allowed to date them. I'm just like, what gives you the authority to tell me what to do? And the fact that the coach was like, I'm gonna bench the hero if you date him, I was like, all Holden needed to do was go to like the higher ups, go to his the school president or something, you know, head of the athletic department, above the football coach, and be like, this guy is blackmailing me so that I won't date his daughter. Like, that is unethical. That is not okay. And I just did not care. And it just made me mad that he would do something like that, and that the heroine just kind of like went along with it. Like, you don't want to make my dad mad. Like, fuck off. I just didn't care. But then I read In the Weeds by B.K. Borison, and this book redeemed everything because this book was adorable. I am obsessed with the hero in this book. It was amazing. I gave it 5 stars. The small town vibes of this book was everything. It gave me the small town of like Tillicum that I felt when I was reading Claire Kingsley's Bailey Brothers series. Like, oh my gosh, Tillicum is such a cute small town. Like, this small town, even with like the phone tree and like the trivia night, I was like, this is the small towns that I love. It just brings so much to the book. The other side characters were so fun. I really want the hero's sister's stories, so I'm definitely going to continue on in this series. This hero made this book. He made this book. He was a absolute cinnamon roll, utter adorable hero. He gave me Ren Bergman vibes from Always Only You by Chloe Leese, and Ren is like one of my all-time favorite heroes ever. And he was just a sweetie pie, and he was so cute. He was so cute, and I loved him so much, and I gave this book 5 stars. Then after that, the last book that I read in December so far was Enticing the Scrooge by Jessa Kane. This one was another Jessa Kane novella. This is a holiday one. It was like the great-great-grandson of Ebenezer Scrooge, and he needs to get married, and he finds this like beggar girl who's like homeless on his front porch, and is like immediately like, I need to be with you, and then they have a lot of sex. It was spicy. This was the Jessa Kane that I was prepared for, you know? Like, when I first read Hefty, I was expecting something so chaotic and wild, and what I got was like a cute, sweet best friend's brother story. this one, Enticing the Scrooge, this is the Jessica Kane that I was expecting. This one was wild. It was like an over-the-top kind of plot. It was just like, it was chaotic. It was chaotic and it was spicy and I was here for it, and it was just like what I was expecting, you know? Like, you go into Jessica Kane knowing it's going to be Jessica Kane. I'm not going into this book expecting it to be like a Kennedy Ryan masterpiece. It was a Jessica Kane novella, but it was Christmas themed, and I was just like, I was here for it, you know? But that's the last one that I read so far in December. Like I said, if I continue at this pace, I will beat my Goodreads goal, which is like, whew, that'll be amazing. But that's gonna be it for this video. Please let me know down in the comments below what you've been reading so far, how you feel about the books that I've read. But honestly, like, this month is going pretty well. Like, even though I've read so many novellas and they're all like wild, I have had some like great gems in the month and I feel great. But that is it for this video, so please like it if you liked it and subscribe so you can see more content from me. But other than that, I hope that you have a great day. Bye!